Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to a hardware slash software review that's gonna be mostly negative, if I'm being honest. So if negativity is not your thing, it's maybe time to go somewhere else. We are here today not to look necessarily at the PMDG-737 or any of the other aircraft we're going to look at today. We're here to look at this. This is my Elgato Stream Deck XL, and we are pairing it today with a payware add-on for the sim that lets you control pretty much everything in the aircraft, in this case the PMDG-737, autopilot, lights, fire suppression, pretty much every onboard system can be controlled through this app paired with the Steam Deck. And while it's a good application, all in all, I think there are other alternatives that might better suit the sim. So we're going to take a look at it, take a look at the three aircraft that I purchased it for, the PMDG-737 obviously to start, the Phoenix A320, and then the freeware fly-by-wire A320. So without further ado, we'll hop into the cockpit and keep stepping inside and outside of the jet and see what we can do with this little tool here. Let's begin. So let's get started with flight panels. I'm actually going to switch over to what I'm seeing right now, which is, this is the package that I purchased. It includes three aircraft: the Boeing 737, the PMDG-73, the fly-by-wire A320, and the Phoenix A320. And currently it's on sale for $42.70. It's normally about $53.50. We'll just say $54 after change, or after tax rather. And while I love, and we'll look into all of these in real time here in just a moment. I do love the attention to detail that went into the different systems, how the Airbus ones look like Airbus and the 737 ones look like 737 ones. I, right now at least, cannot recommend this as it sits, and it's not because it's bad. It's actually very good. I like what it does. There's a few reasons. So if we come down to the requirements tab here, you see you're going to need FS-UIPC7. It says a paid license isn't required. I found that not to be the case, so I ended up purchasing FS-UIPC. You can see it's in my library there for another $30 after tax. So you're in here for roughly about $80. That's not considering the price of a Steam Deck XL. Now, granted, I use my Steam Deck XL for a lot more than just this, so it's kind of just a plus. But if I look up the price of what a Steam Deck XL is going for right now, they are, holy smokes, they are, they're about $250. So if you went and bought one like from Best Buy or Amazon, they're about $250. Now again, granted, I'm going to do this video based on the concept that you already have a Steam Deck XL, or Stream Deck XL rather, simply because if you don't, I would recommend a plethora of other products before purchasing a Steam Deck just for flight sim integration. But I use it to record videos, I use it for editing, I use it for volume mixing, all kinds of different stuff that I use it for. So we'll go back in the sim here, and I'm actually going to pull up my Steam Deck software. So this screen right here, what you're seeing, is what is currently on my Steam Deck. We're going to do it this way just because it's a little bit cleaner. We're going to put it down in the lower right corner. This is just going to be a lot cleaner than having like a camera setup or something like I did in the beginning. Because it obviously sits right in front of me, and I'd be moving all around the microphone and it would annoy everyone. So this is a custom Steam Deck. Oh, excuse me, I dropped my phone. It's a custom Steam Deck setting that I have set up here. You can see some of the presets that I use to record. So, you know, I can turn on my ATC mic, and then I can sound all ATC-ish. Or we can go back to the normal one. Obviously, I've got a record button, that sort of stuff. I keep wanting to touch them in real life, and that's not going to do anything. We're going to come to the bottom right here and go to the flight sim, my custom setup here. This is not what we're using. This actually is what we're going to circle back to. This is the Flight Tracker Steam Deck. I'm going to keep saying Steam Deck. Stream Deck plugin. We're going to click on the little flaming rotary wheel up there, and that's going to bring us to the launcher, or the profile switcher, for the panel's FS2020 plugin. And we're obviously going to select the 737 NGX, and now we're on the 737 NGX series. Now, the one nice thing that is done with this is all of the back-end stuff with the Stream Deck is already handled for you. So, like, if I go to my Audio-Technica mic that I have here, you know, I had to set, I mean, everything you're seeing on this screen here, I had to set up, right? So, you know, this is tying into OBS. It's doing its thing there. This is a source for Flight Sim 2020, DCS, and then X-Plane. We miss you, X-Plane. I've got my different sources here. So all of this I had to set up on my own. So what's nice about this guy is all of that's already handled for you. So if I want to, so like I actually found a bug, which was another reason why I'm not necessarily recommending it in its current state. If I go to the autopilot page and go to page 2, these guys here. So these were initially set up inverse. If we look at the actual 737 cockpit, you can see we have the order is supposed to be weather, WXR, your stations, waypoints, airports, data, so on and so forth, right? On here, you can see that these two are flipped. That's because it was easier for me to just change the icon and the function. I'm sorry, easier to change the icon rather than the function. They were inverted, and this originally said weather, and this originally said station to match what's up in the 737, but they did the inverse push. There's a whole bunch of custom commands set up here in the background with FSUIPC. I didn't want to mess with that, so what I did is I just changed the icon from weather to station. So that's kind of a no-no. I haven't really done a whole lot with this yet. We'll see if we find more bugs as we go. But let's stop harping on the negative here. Let's talk about some of the cool, good stuff you can do. You can see right now I am in kind of a zoomed in mode. If I want to go back to a nice center mode, I wonder, does Flight Sim have to be enabled? Yeah, Flight Sim has to be foreground for this to work. Yep, it does. That's going to suck. That's really going to suck. I don't know how I'm going to do this now. Well, huh. Let me see if I can change my Flight Sim settings so it's not always on top. I'll be right back. All right, and here we are in the Phoenix A320. Same process as before. We'll go ahead and log in there. That is a 3D print of mine falling to the keyboard. That's always fun and lovely. We'll just sit you down there. And we'll launch the A320. Oh no, that's the fly-by-wire one. Let's go Phoenix A320. There we go. There's a stupid 300cc motorcycle in the background. He thinks he's so cool. Yeah, but yeah, shut up. Leave. Anyway, can you tell I'm a little bit salty? So very similar controls as before. Layout is all the same. Obviously, we have the Phoenix image on the background. One thing that is nice about the Phoenix is I can go to, where is my, let's clear the master caution. Let's get rid of that. You can open and close the VFR nav map as well with this key here. That's what I pushed on accident. I don't even know what that one does. But one of them, I'll have to look around here a little bit because overhead captain, EFB. So I can go directly to my EFB panel. And if I'm doing work in here, it's a nice full screen application. If I want to go back to the captain's position, boom, I'm right there. Overhead, looking at the overhead panel, boom, I'm there. Autopilot panel, boom, I'm there. Then we can go back to the EFB. So let's go to the overhead panel. And then we'll go to the overhead panel in the sim as well. And you can see, obviously, it is much closer to an Airbus type layout. So if we want to turn on all the fuel pumps, we can do that straight away. Batteries are on, external power is on, AP generators on. So let's say I want to turn off the APU gen, I can do that there. If I want to turn off external power, I can do that. I can turn it back on. Since we're on the APU, or rather, since we're on the APU, I can turn the APU off, is what I meant to say. Wouldn't be autopilot, probably general. Strobes are set to automatic, so what do we have for options there? So we've got off, on, that's it. So you either got on or off. Just fine, it's similar to my toggle I have set up in the sim, either on or off. No smoking and fasten seatbelt signs. Interesting. So the emergency lights is either a on or off situation. Should be an arm. So we are on ground power now, so we can actually shut down the APU. So we'll do that. There should be an option for wipers, I believe. That was on the 737, so I'd be surprised if it didn't exist on here. Can turn on my, let's go to the, back to my captain position, and we'll look down here. Yeah. So then I can go to my, was it ICAM? No, that's up there. It was just there. Shouldn't be lighting. We'll come back to that. It's not autopilot. Gee, I'm familiar with this. Can you tell? Well, we'll circle back to that once I figure out where it is. Up to the radio panel, you can see you can select VHF 1, 2, or 3. You can swap your active frequency. You can't tune them, though, which is unfortunate. You can shut the radios on or off, should you want to do that. I would like to see a tuning option added for all of the aircraft. As far as I know, none of the aircraft have the option to tune, which is, in my opinion, kind of unacceptable. But what do I know? Let's actually start the AP back up so we can continue to have our lovely jubbly cool air. I can go up to, well, we'll take a look at the lighting here since we're on the screen, but I can drop the brightness of the PFD or the MFD. I can up the brightness of the flood panel, like so. Can lower the brightness of my iCams. There's a reading light option. And I'm not sure. Pedestal? Oh yeah, down there. So you can see the floodlight for the pedestal as I change it. I can turn on the dome light, dim, bright, or off. Annunciator lights, bright. So I think that's just a test. Yeah. So they're set to dim, then bright, and then test. Then we'll go back to bright. Autopilot panel is pretty much as expected. If we go to the autopilot panel window here, you've got your flight director. We can turn that on or off, should we so choose, our localizer. You can change your heading 1 digit at a time. You can change your speed 1 digit at a time. If I press and hold, nothing happens. So, well, it airs out is what happens, actually. So, just 1 digit at a time. Same thing with all of them. You can do a vertical speed hold. You can level out the aircraft. I don't think it'll engage right now. Oh, yeah, well, autopilot 1, autopilot 2. Second page. Okay, so this is actually kind of interesting. So you can change to VOR, to nav, arc, or your plan. You can set your ranges. So that's pretty neat. I like that. That's a pretty handy tool to have. We can go back to the captain tab. Got brake fans you can toggle on and off. Visor. Let's try blinds. Okay, so those are the blinds on my side, and then I'm assuming visor brings my visor into view. Okay, so that's nice to see. No options for the FO or the co-pilot side. It's all just stuff relative to flying the aircraft or to the captain's side that you would be flying on. This is it's interesting. So on the actual Phoenix, you can't bring this up until you have the tablet out of the way. There's just nowhere to click. But once you get rid of the tablet, then you can bring up the visor. But you can't bring back the tablet until you lower the visor, and then you can bring the tablet back. Or you can hit the cheaty button and do it that way. Windscreen wipers is one other thing I wanted to look at. There's your weather radar. It's interesting to me because the Phoenix still doesn't, as far as I know, have a working weather radar, so, okay. Same thing with the PMDG. Lighting, radios, fire panel. We'll take a quick gander through there. Is there a test on here? Test. I don't even know. Is that on the overhead panel? Yeah, I don't even know. Okay, yep, we got it. Yep, we got it. Yep, we got it. Why are you still... So now the aircraft... Okay, there we go. What else do I want to show here? Landing lights are probably similar to the 7.3. It's either there's full on, retract, and off. So 3 positions there, not on the PMDG. Maybe that's just because the PMDG has different modeling for each one. That could be taxi light. You've got taxi, off, taxi, off. So if I turn the landing lights to on, nope, it's just taxi light to taxi or off. Wing light, obviously working. I don't believe it worked. Oh, no, it does. My normal bind works there, so that's not of great use to myself. I don't know what the snail does. What does the snail do? We'll have to research the little snail there, what he does. Okay, we're gonna hop over to the fly-by-wire A320 next, and then we'll take a look at what I think you should be at least starting out with if you already have a Stream Deck. If you don't have a Stream Deck, buy physical hardware. And if you're... Okay, we'll address that in a moment. Be back in a second. Okay, last up, but definitely not least, we have the fly-by-wire A320. We're gonna do a live hotfix. This is irritating. So we're gonna go here, then here, and we're gonna figure out why this should be the Phoenix A320, and this should be the fly-by-wire, right? Okay. Live hotfixes. I don't think that's anything I did. I think it genuinely was broken like that. Anyway, the fly-by-wire A320, we are currently in a cold and dark state in the aircraft, so we'll get to start it up from the jump at the beautiful fly-by-wire hangar. God, I want the A380 so bad. We got a wing flex teaser video, and that's about it. So let's go general. We have that same option for the overhead panel. It seems to not be doing anything. Did I load up the right one? Autopilot. That's an op. Overhead. Battery 1 and 2. So just my camera switches appear to not be working. I'm hitting all of them. That's fine. We'll do this my way. External power, we'll turn that on. The smoking can come on. We'll set those to arm. Let's see, what else can we do here? So we're just in the overhead panel. I'm assuming that's where the, nope, AP start would be. I guess it's everything aft of the environmental controls, and it's not under general either. So where's all of this stuff that I'm looking for? I do have lighting, so I can do nav. It is just on or off in this, that's fine. Can I adjust my... Let's just go through everything. So this is... But it's also there's presets. Okay, well, I'm not seeing anything change. Preset 1 works great. Yeah, I don't know what preset 1's doing, but... I don't know. I'm not necessarily satisfied with this at the price. Again, there's no way to tune the radios. We saw that in this aircraft and the Phoenix, and I promised 737s the same way. I did an earlier flight with it earlier this morning. So, autopilot. It all works for the most part as expected. Heading, again, all of these are single increment increases and decreases, which is okay, I suppose. Camera button works. Or the reset camera button, I should say. Oh, now they're working. What the heck? Go figure. So yeah, now my keys are working. Interesting. Interesting. Just another little live bug there. Let's go back to the captain spot. So, oh, there's a train coming. Lovely. So, we've looked at that. Let's now look at what I think you should be getting instead of this guy here, which is a very useful tool. Don't get me wrong. We might have to pause for this train. We'll see if I can yell over him. Is this guy here? This is, it's the 300cc motorcycle. It's not a train. Here he comes. Brum, brum. Dude, anyway. If you're looking to buy, yep, there he goes. Brum. Sounds like a little dirt bike. Anyway, which are 250 and 300. I know there's like 500F, or is it the CBR 500F? I know that's a road bike. Anyway, I know that there are some dirt bikes that get up there in CCs, but a lot of them are 250cc. But this is my little tirade aside. This is what I recommend you get. It's completely free. It is what I've used up until this day, and if I'm being honest, probably what I'll come back to. If you already have a Stream Deck and are looking for some good, ready-to-go drop-in drag, and you don't even have to do any specific, I'm going to kill him in a video game, please. This is not real. This is not a real threat. But this is what I recommend getting. It is if I go back to my main OBS page, this is what I have been using, and it's really nicely lined up. There's a few extra buttons you'll see, so like the artificial horizon I added. It's in other screens. The wind I added. The GNS 530 is a separate plugin. But it does everything that, I shouldn't say everything. It lets you do a lot of core functions. So autopilot changes, radios, external lighting, all of that stuff it lets you do. It lets you get a general overview of the systems of the aircraft. No, it's not as pretty. No, it's not as, I guess, preset to what's going on with the specific aircraft. But why is this so dark? But this does more for me than any other one out there. So we'll run through this with the PMDG the Phoenix, and then we'll circle back to the fly-by-wire, and we'll see what we can get up to with Flight Tracker in contrast to the payware, the $53 payware add-on that is also available. So I'll be back with that in just a minute. Okay, back in the 737, and you do lose some functionality over individual aircraft systems in this. Frame rate's not one of them, it's just low here at Renton. Custom scenery kills, plus custom aircraft, plus all the other crap I'm doing in the background that's not related to flight sim. But you do still have a very nice rudimentary autopilot, and like I had mentioned before, you can adjust things in the teens, or in the tens, by tens. Is flight director on? Oh, I wonder if it's conflicting. I bet you it's conflicting. Yeah, these are fighting each other. Hang on, I gotta disable FSUI PC. So, yeah, FSUI PC is hogging some aspects of this, but I promise it worked like yesterday when I used it. So the autopilot right now does not seem to be functioning. I'm willing to bet that is a byproduct of my doing with this new program, but everything else seems to work, including the most important part. Like I mentioned, you can dial up the autopilot by tens for all values, which is so much more helpful if you hold, or if you just want to do one at a time, you can. I don't know if you guys can even see that, but most important part to me is radio. So if you get a handoff saying contact ground on 121.65, I don't know, 121.7, let's just say, I can dial in 121.7, hit enter, and now my standby comm is that. And then in addition to that, I don't have to hit the switch down here. If I tap on the icon, it switches my active frequency. So again, handoff, there's your handoff, dial it in with the number pads, you just touch each button, hit enter, switch over, and it's your active. And you can do that for all of your VHF comms. So if you want to have this set to like ATIS, you can do that, dial it over, boom, have your departure set. Same thing for the nav radios. These are not active frequencies, but you get the idea, right? Same thing with the transponder. Transponder's now set 1200. All from just this. You do have different views that you can do. So if I reset here, oh, Flight Sim didn't like that. Oh, Flight Sim didn't like that. Okay, we're back. So I've got an overhead view, and you can name these as you want. I just have them numbered because I don't really use them too often. But you get more views also, which is nice. That's where the EFB PMDG, where is it? We're still waiting. Okay, you just get a lot more views, and you can customize these views as well. But I think these are all the defaults. And they do change for the aircraft that you're in. So if you have custom view, whatever, set to, you know, view number 6, and that custom view changes aircraft to aircraft, that will change versus having to buy the panel for that specific aircraft. You have a systems menu in here as well. I have redundant some autopilot settings that I added here. I've got my artificial horizon there as well. But you can see, let's turn on the flight sim. Let's turn on the APU, and then you can watch the APU RPM increase once it starts spinning up. Same thing for the engines. Temperatures and all that obviously were pretty well shut down here. Fuel quantities as well. So you can see I'm really low in the center tank. That represents there 27%, I would assume. And then 8.63 tons in either tank, 100% on either of those. Are you spinning up, Mr. APU? Almost. I'm not getting an indication there, so maybe that's out as well. Well, like I said, before I had FSUI PC and all this other crap installed, all of this worked flawlessly. And to be frank with you, I think I might go back. I think I might just stick with what I got. I've got more information here too. I've got wind direction. I've got a separate GNS 530 panel that if I'm flying on an airplane that has a GNS 530 installed, I can toggle in that. I just like this better. It's a lot cleaner. It's a lot easier to move around. And like I said before, you can add your own custom tiles here a lot easier. There's no background FSUI stuff you have to tune. And it's not just me saying this is currently sitting at a 4.8 out of 5. I mean, that's one of the best scores on the sim market. Period. Yeah, I don't know. This is not for me. Not to say it's a bad product. Again, I'm not saying it's a bad product, but I think if you have a Stream Deck or Stream Deck XL or whatever other variants there are of it, I think you should give the Flight Tracker Stream Deck a try first. It's a one-click install, just like this payware thing is. I keep forgetting the name of it. Hold on. Let me not dox myself here real quick. I'll just hide that so you can't see what I'm doing. And then... what are you called? The flight panels. That's what they are. Flight panels. And they have other options for like the ATR and that sort of thing too. But, all in all, I think for now, at least, I would say save your money. Try out the Flight Tracker Stream Deck plugin for free. If you like it and you wish there was a little bit more to offer, go ahead and grab it. You will need FSUI PC. They're claiming the free version, but like I said, I had to drop another $30 on the paid version as well. But that is it for this video. It is worth mentioning you don't get like panel adjustment and stuff like that with the free version, but for a very basic rudimentary option that lets you toggle your different lights and that sort of stuff, I would definitely say give this a try before I was going to say dropping big money before dropping any money on any of this. So that is going to do it for this video, you guys. Thank you very much for watching, sitting through it with me. I will catch you in the next video. And as always, take it easy. It's laggy.